everyone here? Take a little drink before we get started. Janet Parkin, lovely to have you on. Faye Bennett, hello, hope you're well. A lovely picture of your cat. Yep, and if you could all like and share, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Hi, Joanne. Joanne Lewis. Gina Ebrel. Deborah Long. And I must remind everyone, do not send stars because SPTV don't do stars. Everything is free on SPTV. Tammy Mason. Am I all right to go to somebody and drawn? Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Just waiting for some more names to come up. Hi, Marcus. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Kelly Rocket. Hope you're good. Can I go to Tracy Foster if that's okay? Not quite sure why yet, but I feel drawn, so we'll see where we go with it. I'm getting a gentleman around you, Tracy. I'm not sure where he ties in with you quite yet. I wouldn't like to put my human brain into that right now, but he's very, very protective, which tells me that he could be dad or granddad. But I'm not going to tie to that quite yet. He was quite a stern fellow, very matter-of-factly. What you saw was what you got, and he didn't take no messing around. He could be quite strict, but he was very, very loving, if you can understand this gentleman. He draws me to yourself and to another female around you. So this is an older female that he wants me to acknowledge. That's not that the older female, he wants to come in and acknowledge the, not that he doesn't want to acknowledge you, because he does, but he wants to come in and acknowledge the older female that's around you that's been struggling a little bit with mobility lately, if you can understand any of this. Grandad, can you understand the lady that's been struggling with the mobility? He's coming in, and as he comes in, you know, he was a fun-loving guy, but he was actually quite stuck in his ways and quite strict and didn't like to take any messing around. And if you got on the wrong side of him, then you were in deep trouble. But if he could help you in any way, he would. I'm getting that he had trouble drawing a breath at some point towards the end of his life, because as I'm trying to draw my breath, it's kind of like I've got a little bit of a wheeze. Can you understand that he would have had something going on around his chest area? And that mum's not been feeling herself lately, and that she's been struggling a little bit with mobility and getting around, because he just wants to come forward. He's been sending lots of healing for mum. He also wants to acknowledge a younger male. I'm not talking child like what's in your photo, but a younger male, probably within 5 years of your age group. Probably a couple of years older than you, I'd think. Now, he's making me want to like draw something up out of my chest or my throat. I don't know whether he was the smoker, but he's definitely got a smoker around him, because I can smell the smoke, I can smell the cigarettes. Yeah, because all I'm getting with your granddad is that he's struggling a little bit to draw a breath, and I think that in his time either he smoked or somebody close around him smoked. And I was getting with your mum that it is mobility problems. I do feel she has more of a back problem than with her knees. I think most of her pain is in the back, and that she struggles to get out and about because of this. Not that she hasn't got a problem with the knees, but I feel most of it is around the lower back area. I know that this has weighed heavy on Mum, and she's sort of like, you know, she because she likes to get out and about, and she's always been very independent, and she's struggling with not being able to get out the way she did before. Could you understand that he would have liked a pint of bitter or a dark ale with quite a large head on it? Because he's bringing me to a large ale with quite a head on it. That's probably where I'm smelling the smoking from, where he would go out and he would be around the smoke, but he's still putting like quite a breathless, like a wheeze, like he had quite a wheeze around his chest area. I know he's sending lots of healing for Mum for her back, and I do know that Mum has been struggling for quite a little while with this, on and off, but it seems to have been worse over the past 12 months. And he's just pushing forward that he has been there and he's been around her. I know that she's felt Dad around, Granddad around, who's her dad. She's felt Dad around. She knows when he's there. I know that from time to time they could clash a little bit, but there was such love there, you know, that he was always there for her when she needed him. But he could be short-tempered at times with the people around him, especially towards the last 3 or 4 years of his life, if you can understand this. And yes, he liked the dark beer, yeah, because he was just bringing that forward, that he liked something dark. Yeah, I know that you know, it's with her back getting worse, it's also affected her, I won't say mentally, but like she's struggled with the fact that she can't do the things she was doing before, because she liked to be out and about and helping others more than, and now she's having to accept a little bit more help, if you can understand this. Now, I've got to acknowledge 3, so I don't know whether you've got 3 children or whether you're one of 3. Yeah, because I know he was giving me that they could clash at times, and things weren't always perfect between them, but he did always love her, you know. There was, you know, that was never an issue. It was just that he was very stuck in his ways, you know, and he, you know, he's not changed, but he does regret some of the ways in which he would come across, you know, because he would say things before he thought about what he was saying, if you can understand this, and this would create a divide. So he's still giving me the reference to 3. It could be the 3 years beforehand, but right. So so the reference to 3 children, 2 are your own, and 1 is another child that you have around you, like a stepchild, or what is giving me the reference to 3 children. Could you also understand? Could you understand that is giving me the number 24? So I don't know whether this is a house number or a date of the month, but it's giving me the number 24 and a reference to August, because he wants to take me to August, and also September. He's showing me the autumn leaves dropping off the trees too. So we're either letting something go, you know, that like we've let some things go, and we're moving forward. We've let go of the past, or he wants us to let go of the past and move forward, because he's showing, you know, because trees, they'll Your sister is 24, so he obviously wants to make reference to your sister and just wants for her to be acknowledged. So I don't know why he's bringing me August and September of the month. Right, so he just wants to acknowledge it. It's just his little way of bringing forward the evidence. So your son's birthday's in August, and he's just acknowledging this. I do know that we do have a celebration coming up in February or March. I don't know what this is, but he's kind of given me celebration vibes off this. So either we've achieved something really great that he's proud of us for, or there's going to be a family celebration. If I can leave that with you, if that's okay, and just know that he's bringing forward lots of love and healing for Mum. And you know, just because they didn't always get on doesn't mean that he didn't love her, and he wants to put that forward. He wasn't very good at putting forward or saying the things that he wanted to say, but there is so much love there. If I could leave that with you, if that's okay. Thank you very much. Good evening, Jessica Wynn. Good evening, Andrea 54 Hector. Good to see you on here tonight. Gloria Douglas, lovely to see you from Ohio. Yeah. Hello, Lily Rose. Hi, Terry. Good to see you on. Hi, Tammy Mason. Lisa Hemingway. Good to see you on here. I know that I have spoken to Terry in the chat once or twice, but could I go back to Terry a minute? Because I've got a song in my head and it's coming, I'm drawn to Terry with it. And it's, so I know a little bit about Terry, but I don't really know. I know that you're on sptv and you don't really give out a lot. We don't give out a lot about our personal lives on the chat and whatnot. But I know I've got a gentleman with me who's so I don't know whether if this is a reference to Amy Winehouse, whether you like Amy Winehouse or whether somebody did, but it's the Cupid song, Cupid, draw back your bow. So whether we are moving forward with something where we are in a relationship and we're drawing very, very close to this person and it's time for change and we're making decisions, because that's the only other reason why I would feel this song would come in for you. But I know that they're giving me a lot of travel. I know that you're going to be doing a lot of traveling over the next 6 months and that we have a new endeavor that we're moving forward with. There's going to be change in work. Now, the gentleman that I've got with me, I wouldn't like to try and tie in who he is, but he's got a great big massive smile. I mean, when he smiles it takes over his whole face, and he wants me to acknowledge another lady older than yourself, and he also wants me to acknowledge a male that would be 2 or 3 years older or younger than you, and he wants to give me March for something. Right, so it must, the Cupid song must be about the new relationship. I know that he's bringing a lot of love and he's smiling when he's coming forward with this, so he must feel like he must think that you're moving in the right direction. Now he wants to take me to an older lady around you, an older lady that has been helping you out quite a lot. He wants to reference to two but he also wants to reference to 3. So I don't know if you're one of 3 or if you're one of 2, but he's given me he wants to make the reference of 2 children and 3 children. So I don't know what that's about. So it's like, I do feel like we could be one of 3. I don't really know much about you, but I feel like we could be one of 3, and he wants to reference to 2. Now, I do feel that this gentleman suffered for quite a while before he passed. I feel that we had terrible problems around the torso area, and I can't work out whether it's below the lung area or within the lung area. But I just know that we've got problems going on in the torso area, and I do know that we suffer, either you're suffering with headaches or we suffered from headaches. All right, okay, so long as you know what I'm talking about, because, you know, obviously I'm just bringing the information through. Could you understand why he wants to take me to a male that I do believe would be your sibling? And he wants to acknowledge big changes around this male at this time, that we've changed the way we think, or we've changed the way we're moving forward with our life right now. I know that this male is quite a happy-go-lucky chappy, but I do know that he did go through a few trying times, but he always looked on the bright side of life. I do feel that he could have had to have moved away for work or something like that, because I just feel that there is a small divide from where he would have, from where he's from. It feels like he's moved away from the nest, if I can put it that way, from the close knit. Right, so this is why I couldn't. And can you understand where he would have had the difficulties drawing a deep breath too? Because I knew it was in the torso area, but I'm also getting something going on with the liver, and I can't draw a full breath. Right, I knew that the brother had moved away from the nest, and he was showing me that there was a divide there. And he just wanted to reference that there's been big changes for him recently as well, over the past 8 months. And he wants to reference to something that's going on for yourself in 4 months' time. So we've got plans for 4 months' time. Right, because I knew he was giving me the liver area where he struggled quite a lot. This would have been towards the end. Now, I know that he was a very, very happy, jolly chappy. That if he could do anything for you, he would. That there wasn't anything that he wouldn't do to try and, you know, make your life better. You know, and he wants to take. He's saying over the past 5 years you went through a terrible time, and he wished he could have been around more for some of that, if you can understand this. I'm not sure how long he's been gone, I can't tell you that, but I just know that he's referencing to the fact that over 5 years there's been big changes and you have struggled, but he wants to reference that it started around 5 years ago, if you can understand this. And he's just sending lots and lots of love forward for you. And just what now, for whatever reason, I don't know. Right, okay, so just remember that I have said that something's going to happen in 4 months' time. I don't tell the future, I'm not a fortune teller, but I do feel that something's coming forward for you in around 4 months' time, and there's going to be a change and a celebration of sorts. So I don't know what that is, but if I can leave that with you, Terry, if that's okay. And he's just sending over so much love for you. Now, I don't know why he's saying something about my little rabbit. So I don't know why he's bringing that forward, but he wants me to acknowledge a rabbit, and he's saying my little rabbit or something of the sort. So I don't quite get what he's talking about there, but if I can leave that with you, that's okay. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Shawana Skinner, hello. Good to see you on here. Hi Deb, you all right? How you doing? Yeah. Val Cox, good to see you on here. Lovely picture of the dog. Jennifer GR. Leona McKeevoy from Dublin. Good to see you on here. Carol McDowell. Natalie Russell. If I could come to Natalie Russell, if that's okay. Yet again, I haven't got a clue why yet, but Natalie, I'm just wondering if you can acknowledge a lady that passed before she hit 60. I do feel she never made it to 60. She's referencing that she never made it to 60. Now, I'm getting terrible something going on around the stomach, but she's also, I don't feel, I feel something going on around the stomach, but I also feel something going on around the breast area. So whether it's something that started around the breast area and spread to the stomach or the other way around, I'm not sure, but I'm getting like something going on in the stomach area, digestive or cervical, I'm not sure, but I do feel that it started in the breast area, if you could understand this. And this lady wouldn't have made it to 60. I'm not sure whether she's come up for you yet, Richard, but so she's saying yes, she knows the lady who didn't make it to 60. Could you understand that this, I do feel that this would have started, I'm getting the feeling that most of what was going on was in the stomach area, but I am still getting something around the breast area. So, but I do feel it may have started around the stomach area. I could be wrong there, because sometimes, you know, and this, she's given me the smell, and I know this smell because my mum used to spray it quite a lot of hairspray, like inset, or it smells more like inset hairspray. So I don't know whether you can understand this, but I'm just getting a real big waft of hairspray, like quite intensely. I don't know why she's bringing that forward for me. It could have been that she used quite a lot of hairspray, or it's something around you at this time, but she's bringing me the hairspray, lots of hairspray, the smell of lots of hairspray. Now I'm also, so I thought it had started lower down, but I do feel that it did move up towards the chest area. I don't know whether you can whether I'm correct with that, but I feel it started around the stomach area and moved up towards the chest area. I'm feeling a right old heat coming up the back right now, so I know that and I obviously know that cervical cancer took her there, but I do feel that she passed from infection, like sepsis or something to do with the blood towards the end, because she's just sending a right old heat up my back to the back of my head, which always tells me that we would have had a blood infection when we passed. Now, I don't know whether you can understand that there would have been 2 people with her when she passed. Went to the lungs, yeah, because I just knew she was bringing me up to around the breast area, and like it was sort of, you know, it started lower down and then it came up to the chest area. But I do feel that there was 2 people around her when she passed, and there was another person that didn't make it or didn't come for whatever reason. But she's, you know, she kind of says, you know, these things happen. You know, it wasn't a big deal that the 3rd person didn't make it, if you can understand this. All right, okay. Just know that I've said that she had 2 people with her, and there was a 3rd person that she expected or would have liked to have been there that couldn't make it, because she's just bringing that forward for me. Now, could you understand where somebody's recently had their hair cut? Because she's taken me to somebody having their hair cut, and she's also referencing that she wasn't keen on tattoos, but somebody's recently had a tattoo. And she's bringing that, but no, she must have left a necklace of cuts of some kind behind for somebody, because she's taken me to my crystal necklace, but the necklace that she left was not a crystal necklace. It was some kind of a keepsake. I can't tell you what kind. I'm not going to say it was a locket because I'm not sure. But I feel it was silver, whatever it was that she left, and it was necklace. But she's bringing that forward. Now, she's taking me to apples. I don't know why she's taking me to apples, but she wants me to acknowledge apples. I've had this before, and usually it's something to do with cooking or whatever else. I do understand that back in her time, she would have liked to cook, but either she wasn't the best cook or somebody here has been burning something recently. Because she's bringing forward that, you know, we like to cook, but we're not the best cook. So I don't know if that's her or somebody that's here. I can't quite acknowledge that. But I know that this lady was quite like she liked to mother people. She liked to be there for everybody. She was always liked to, you know, to bring a smile to people's faces and to have a laugh. You know, she liked to be the life and soul of her. She wasn't one for being the life and soul of the party, but of her personal circle, if you can understand this. Now, she's taken me to somebody that's been doing some learning recently. So I don't know whether this is in school or whether it's like a college thing, but she's taken me to books and learning, and somebody moving forward with something. I'm not sure whether you can take that, but I don't know what it is she's trying to show me. She's showing me photo. She's showing me like somebody who's into photography. So who likes to take pictures, a lot of pictures. If you can understand that. And she would have been deaf in one ear, because she's taken me to, like, I've kind of gone quite deaf in one ear. So if she wasn't deaf in one ear, somebody's been having a problem with their hearing. I know she wants to send a lot of love your way, and she wants to acknowledge. Okay, the learning, yes, the pictures, no. We'll just know that I've put that forward, that either she liked photography or there's somebody around you that likes to take a lot of pictures, because she's just showing me somebody taking pictures. So we're taking a lot of pictures, or we filtering or photoshopping pictures or something like that. And if I can leave a love with you, if that's okay. And thank you very much for working with me. Yeah, yeah. Ali J, lovely to see you on here. Simon Butte. Could I go to Simon, please? I don't know whether, Simon, I don't know whether you can understand somebody that, I'm not going to say they took their own life, but something they did came around them, decisions that they made and something that they did came around to them losing their life, if you can understand this. I can't say that they took their own life because I'm not sure about that, but I do know the actions that they took led to the ending of their life, if I can put it that way. It's just the most polite way that I can put it. Because I'm getting like, I feel very, very wishy-washy and light-headed with this person. Like, I wasn't quite myself for a while before I passed, but I do feel that decisions that I made or something that I did was what took me over. I don't know whether sorry. Okay, I'll carry on for a minute, and then if he doesn't respond, then we'll move forward. I know that, like, I don't know, I just feel like something's taken over myself, if you can understand this. Like I don't know whether it was medication that was given or it was something that I was taking, but I just feel like I'm not myself. I'm something that I have taken makes me not feel myself, if we can understand this. If he's not responding, we'll move forward, if that's okay, Richard, because he may have left by now. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to carry on for a minute just in case? Or? Yeah, yeah. I do know that this person, I don't know how to put this, would have been quite easily led and would have found it hard to move forward with endeavors. Daily life was a bit of a chore. It's like we found it hard to pull ourselves through daily life. Now, I'm not saying that we would have had a problem with addiction, but because I don't know whether it was drugs that we were receiving off the doctor that were dimming us down and making us feel, the only way I can put it is wishy-washy, not quite right, or whether it was something that we were taking, like self-medication, if you can understand this. But if I can leave that there, if he's not here, and yeah, okay, yeah, and we'll move forward with somebody else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if we could all like and share, if that's okay, sharing is caring and all of that. Hello, Maria Williams. I don't know. I do have. Can I speak to Maria? I do feel like she's got a lady with her. But I feel she knows she's got this lady with her, and she communicates with this lady, if she can understand this. And the lady that she's got with her would have suffered with hydration in some way. So I do feel that maybe she may have suffered from diabetes or something of the sorts, or maybe somebody around you is suffering from diabetes and blood sugar levels or dehydration for whatever reason. I, I, I do feel that this lady would have been ill for a little while before she passed, and somebody would have wet her lips for her and hydrated her and held her hand, and I know that it would have took her quite a while to pass over, and she would have struggled for a while before we reached that point, if you can understand this. And I know that this lady is so close with you. It's like you communicate, like you know, you always know she's there, and you are communicating with this lady. And for whatever reason, she's pushing forward healing. I'm not saying that this is for you. I do feel that it's for a male around you. Right, so the dehydration feeling could be with yourself. Could you understand where this lady wants to bring forward healing for a male around you? And now she's just putting something on my upper back. So I don't know what's going on between the shoulder blades and the upper back with someone. And I do feel that that's here. And I'm feeling like when I'm talking, I'm kind of like, as I'm getting to the end of what I'm saying, I'm feeling like I need to draw a breath. So I don't know whether this is because we feel like we haven't got any time to draw a breath, and we've been so busy with our lives recently that we've not had time to stop and draw a breath. I do feel that this male, the healing is more around not physical. I'm not saying that they have anything mentally wrong with them. Please don't think that I'm saying that. But it's for us to, the healing is for us. The healing is for us to move forward with an endeavor that we are doing right now. And we have been struggling to draw in that energy, if you could understand this. Because she's given me a lot of energy that she wants, and it's like this male is of a higher vibration. His vibrations are quite high, but he's just struggling right now to keep them at a higher point, if you can understand that. And she wants to take me to, I don't know whether you do coffee mornings or group, something with a group, but she's taken me to group, what is it? It's that we're working in a group with people. I don't know whether you can understand this. So like, I do feel that you would help a lot of people, and you would move forward with a group. If I can leave that with you anyway, if that's okay, and just know that this lady's, I know that you already know this actually, that this lady is very proud of how you've moved forward in the past 6 years, and how you have moved forward with a business endeavor, if you can understand that, and helped many people. And if I could leave that with you, if that's okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, we'll just be back in 2 minutes. We're just going to have a small break. So if you do join us back in 2 minutes, thank you very much.
The sptv Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The sptv Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards.
Wimbledon Spiritualist Church hosts our divine service tomorrow. This starts from 11 a.m. with a demonstration of mediumship.
Right, yeah. So I'd like to welcome everyone back. And I know that Simon, I did give a message for earlier, has now come on. If just to acknowledge that, if you wanted to watch it back or acknowledge anything that I said, is for you, that would be fine. If we could have some names then, Richard. Yep. Hi, Tammy Mason. Jennifer GR. Sandra Jennings. Could I go to Sandra Jennings if that's okay? Now, I don't know whether you can understand a lady that made it to she made it to a real good old age. I would say she was late 80s, early 90s. I wouldn't like to tie in exactly where we got to there, but I know it was very late 80s. She was only a little thing, not the tallest of ladies, if you can understand this. And towards the end of her life, she would have shuffled a lot on her feet. She would have struggled just to lift them. She got about, but she would have struggled to lift her feet, if you can understand this. And I know she would have had a problem with her hearing. Now, she takes me to your eyes. I don't know why she's taking me to your eyes, so I don't know whether you should wear glasses or you've recently had an eye check or something like that going on, but she's taking me to your eyes. I don't know whether this lady's still on, Richard, or whether we've but, yeah, right. We're not quite sure what you're saying yes to, so when you say yes, if you could just acknowledge what it is that you're saying yes to. I understand that this lady would have made it to really, I would call quite old bones. In my family, they've never really made it to that sort of age. And I know that she would have, I don't know whether you can understand the name of Elsie. I know it's quite a common name for that era, but she wouldn't have been Elsie. But I do know she wants to acknowledge that. Right, because she is taking me to your eyes for whatever reason, and usually when they take me there, it's because we should be wearing glasses that we're not wearing, or we need to have an eye check or something's changed around the eye area. I don't know whether you can understand the name Elsie, and whether you can understand where there would be one of five. I don't know whether she was one of five, or your mum was one of five, or you're one of five, but she's given me one of five. And she wants, or whether you have five, but she's given me one of five, and she wants to take me to December. So I do feel like there is, I do feel it's more like a birthday rather than a passing that's in December. And she wants to take me to the number 18. I'm not putting them together, but she's given me December and the number 18. So I'm not saying it's the 18th of December. It could be the number 18 on the door of a house, or you don't know Elsie. All I know is that she's acknowledging that she's met Elsie. So whether your mum or somebody would know Elsie, so just know that I said that anyway. She wants me to acknowledge two males that would be, I don't know whether these would be siblings to your mum. I'm not quite sure, because I feel we're on mum's side, but I could be wrong. But she wants to acknowledge two males. So I don't know whether you can take that. No. Right, okay. It's always that little bit harder when they're adopted, because it could be real mum or dad coming, or adopted mum and dad, and I can't decipher the difference there. But all I know is that this lady would have made it to a good old age. She wants to acknowledge yourself and 2 males. So whether you can understand where the 2 males are that she wants to acknowledge, and 1 of 5. And I don't know whether you understand the name Jason, but she wants to bring forward the name Jason. I do feel Jason would probably be here. Your brother and your son, yeah. I just knew that she wanted to acknowledge 2 males, and I wasn't sure where they were, but she was bringing that forward. Now, could you understand where with the younger male she wants to bring forward that we've had a few problems catching up on something? So we've fell behind on something, and we've had a few problems catching up, and she's acknowledging that she's been watching this, and not sure of the 1 of 5. If you could just know that I can't take that back, so if you could just know that I have, sorry, yeah, it could be food, it could be the fruit and the veg, it could be to do with the fruit and veg, but know that I have said this because the 1 of 5, it means something to her. She's bringing that forward, and I can't take that back because she's quite adamant about that. Know also that I have given you the name Jason, because this could be something coming in, or I don't tell fortunes, but it's there for a reason. Jack or Jason, it's definitely a male J name. I'm not going to take it too far either way with that, but it's a male J name. No, I don't know what this is she's trying to push forward. Whether she would have suffered a little bit with forgetfulness towards the end, or somebody here's suffering with forgetfulness, because she's kind of making my mind go a little bit blank. Like it's like we start to talk about something, and it's like, oh, what was I talking about? Where was I, sort of thing. And she's bringing that forward for me. So if this wasn't her, that there's somebody here doing this now. She also wants Jonathan. Yeah, see, I'm not, names aren't my best endeavor, but if they give me a name, I have to bring it forward. So I'll roll with that. I don't normally swing either way, but it was a J name. I don't know whether you can understand that she would have an older male with her that didn't make it to quite old bones, that he would have been late 60s, and he would have been quite a tall gentleman. He would have had a Zimmer or something of the sorts at one point, but he wouldn't have liked that. Right, she was bringing forward that somebody has some memory problems. I'm very sorry to hear that. And your brother is Johnny, yeah. But now she wants to take me to the male who's with her, who had problems getting around towards the end, and wouldn't have made it to a good age like herself. He would have been he would have passed quite a few years earlier. He would have been like 60s, late 60s. And he would have had a terrible time getting around. He may have had a Zimmer or something, some kind of a frame that would have helped him, if you can understand this, because she just wants to say that they are together. If you can take that. She wants me to send lots and lots of healing to yourself, and she wants me to let you know that she is there, and she wasn't always there, if you can understand this, for whatever reason. He had a stroke, so he would have struggled with his mobility, because she's just bringing that forward, and she's just saying we are together. And I know that they would have bounced off each other in life, not always in a good way, but most of the time they got along pretty well. and she just wants me to acknowledge that they are together, that they found each other, because somebody has wondered about this. I don't know whether you can acknowledge a child that didn't make it, or a small child that didn't make it, that could have made it to the earth plane but didn't make it very long, because she wants to take me to a child that either didn't draw a breath, or if they did draw a breath, they didn't make it to 12 months old. And if I can leave that with you, if that's okay, because I just you know, don't want to spend too long. I want to try and get as many in as I can. Just know that I mentioned the child, and that the child is with them. So I'm not saying that this is your child, but there is a child that they have with them that didn't make it. We have someone named Richard. Thank you very much for working with me, Sandra. Right, yes, your twin. I just knew that there was another child that didn't make it, and that they're all together. Hello, Elizabeth Dugaro. Lovely picture of the dog. Sheila G. Yet again, a lovely. Can I go to Sheila? I don't know whether you can acknowledge another dog that would be in spirit, that would have been dark in colour the same, but would have had more white. Because I don't know why I'm getting the dog, but I do know that there is a gentleman bringing the dog forward, and I wouldn't say he made it past 55. I don't know whether it's a bit soon for her to be able to have tapped back to you, but this gentleman would have had problems with his blood, or something going on around the throat area as well. I don't know whether the lady can acknowledge this, but it was the dog that came forward first. Just going to take a little. Right, the dog was Daisy. I just know that the dog came forward first and was very happy to be coming forward, but there was a gentleman who came behind the dog, who's in his 50s, who wants to be acknowledged, and I do feel that he would have had some kind of a problem with his blood or his glands, lymph glands. And I know that I've got terrible something going on around the head area too. I don't know whether you can take the gentleman. I know that this gentleman would have been sick for quite a while, but when he did pass, it wasn't quite expected when he did, even though that we knew that he wasn't well, if you can take that. And he's giving me really, really cold hands, so I do feel we would have had a problem with circulation. Right, co-worker. I do feel he would have had a problem with his circulation, if you can understand that, and we would have had something going on with the blood. And he just wants me to acknowledge yourself and two other females, if you can understand this. He's laughing about there's been a bit of a disagreement going on, so I don't know what. It can't be anything major, because he's giggling about this, if you can understand that. That there's been a bit of a disagreement going on between three people. And I'm just, he's still taking me to the throat area, so whether it was him that had a problem with his throat, or whether you or someone around you's got a real problem going on around the throat area right now. I feel like I'm having trouble swallowing, like it's really hard for me to swallow anything, if you can understand that. And I know that he wants I don't know why he's taking me back 12 months, but he wants to take me back 12 months to big changes that happened there. So I don't know how long he's been gone, whether this was when he passed or whether there was big changes 12 months ago that he wants to acknowledge around yourself. But he's taken me back 12 months with that. And yet again, he's making me want to like bring something up that off the throat area. It's like, but I also feel like a burning in the digestion with him too. So it seems like he had quite a lot going on, this gentleman. Now, the 12 months are for yourself. Can you also understand that with yourself or someone around you, somebody would be suffering from terrible headaches, or there is something around us that we're having to deal with that's causing us a headache, if you can understand that? Because he's just putting a terrible weight on my head. It's like a heavy weight on my head, sort of around this area. Now he wants to acknowledge the month of March as well. I'm not sure why he wants to acknowledge the month of March, but he's giving me that, so I've got to pass it over. And as I'm breathing in, I just feel like I've got a total numbness going throughout my body. So whether this was with him, or whether this is something going on with yourself, where we've got a little bit of a numbness going on, like we're feeling really numb to something, like I don't know whether you can understand this numbness, because I don't feel it's with him. I do feel it's around you or with you, where we feel quite numb at this time. And I don't know whether you can understand that we struggled to move forward over the past 4 months, but things are changing around us, and we're struggling to see that this might be for the better, but he feels that things are coming in for the better for you. And he wants to acknowledge the other two ladies around you. Yeah, but who's that? Sorry. Oh, right, okay. So if Elizabeth can take this too, all I can say is if you take, because like sometimes I can take everything that's on a reading and I just take that for me. You know, I go, okay, they're hitting two people at once here, and I will take all the information that I can take for myself. Yeah, I do know that you have struggled lately with change, and it's your sisters, right? I just know that he wanted to acknowledge this, and I know that you have struggled with the changes that are coming in, but he does feel that this is gonna be good for you. And I know that I don't like to say too much on here, but I do know that you've struggled a little bit with anxiety, and if I can leave that with you, if that's okay. Oh, lovely, brilliant, yeah. So I think that's it for tonight. I think we're about done now. Thank you all for coming on and for liking and for sharing and for participating. And you know, there's always something on SPTV most nights. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's something on at 11 o'clock tomorrow too. So do tune in. Who is it tomorrow, Richard? Oh, okay. Yeah. So do tune in. Okay, it's the divine service tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Do tune in. It'll be absolutely awesome. There's some great things going on SPTV every night, 8 o'clock, apart from Sundays. That's it, because Richard much needs that day off. Yeah. Thank you very much, Maria. Oh, yeah, and if if anybody wanted to find me, I'm at Thumbelina's Holistic Therapies and Clairvoyance, and you can also find me at Penkridge Market, which is in between Stafford and Wolverhampton. It's a brilliant market if anybody wanted to come forward and come and see my crystals and interact and whatever else. Thank you everyone for joining. Good night, and thank you all for joining SPTV tonight.